Field Ultimate. Cooldown reduced from at all levels to flat 90. So she gets a buff all around to all her three activated skills. Crystal Nova does more slow and more. Basically, it does about the same duration of slow at level 4, but longer duration slow at level 1 and 2, and stronger movement speed and attack slow at 3 and 4. Frostbite cooldown is reduced at all levels. That's just good in general. So the jungling might come back with Crystal Maiden. The ultimate flat to 90. I think that's a pretty good change. Usually, if she pops her ultimate too early or too late in the fight, you won't have that ultimate for a very, very long time, upwards of 2 minutes. So I think 90 seconds is generous. It's a good change. So overall, Crystal Maiden got a thumbs up, got a green plus. Darkseer, Ion Shell duration increase from 20 to 25. That's annoying. Wall of Replica, damage dealt by illusions, slightly nerfed at first 2 levels. So 60, 75, 90. Same at the level 3. Duration increased to flat 45, so it increased to the max duration at level 3. At all levels now. That's really good. I think that's a good change. The wall should be there for 45 seconds at all levels anyway. I think the damage change as well is appropriate. I think 70% damage with a 45 wall, a wall that lasts 45 seconds. If illusions deal 70% damage at level 1, I think it's broken. Finally got it out of my mouth. Finally. I think wall replica mana cost also reduced. So yeah, basically slight buff to Darkseer again. Quite strange because usually you will see like, I don't know, vacuum cooldown increased by 1. Usually that happens. Dazzle Poison Touch level 4, damage increased by 4. Not much big deal. Death Prophet Exorcism Spirit Card increased from at first 2 levels. Up 2 at level 1, up 1 at level 2, and the same at level 3. That's really good for the early pushes because now she have more spirits to kind of deal the damage. I think that's a fairly good buff. I don't think she'll become flavor of the month, but I think damage wise, she'll feel a lot more scary at the early game. Usually she doesn't feel as scary. She probably has to get a couple items or go with a team to really have that impact. Now there'll be a bit more weight behind her punch. Disruptor's Kinetic Field, the duration is increased slightly at all levels. That's pretty good. I think Kinetic Field is an underwhelming ability to get early stage because I think his Q and Glimpse, especially Glimpse, have much stronger utility in ganking and in fights. But it's also good. It's nice that his Kinetic Field now lasts longer because his ultimate lasts about the same time now. So yeah, I think that combination works really well. So when he drops his ultimate, Kinetic Field at max level, there's not a chance of them to walk away. I think that's really good. Dragon Knight. This is one of the most beautiful buffs I've seen. Dragon Knight's Breathe Fire also reduces base damage by 20, 25, 30, 35 for 8 seconds. That is beautiful. Like, now you will see Dragon Knight. Definitely Dragon Knight will come up in competitive, I think, because that change is pretty damn strong. Like for me personally, it is not a game-breaking change, but in a competitive scene where they use these kind of abilities very, very efficiently, that base damage reduction really, really causes problems, especially when a team fight. If Dragon Knight has a Shadow Blade and he goes in for a Blink and he goes into gank somebody, Blink stun, Breathe Fire. If he catches 3 people with that Breathe Fire, the damage they're going to deal to him to return, maybe to throw him off the chase, not going to be as efficient now. That's really, really good. His ultimate, Corrosive Breath from his, I think, level 1 ultimate, is now lethal. It's a very good buff. Many times have I experienced being Dragon Knight. Right click does not always get there in the end, and the poison should have ticked him down, but doesn't. That is a generally good buff. Elder Form's splash damage AoE also increased. So Dragon Knight's going to become a slightly more useful in the late game. Last time, pre this patch, Dragonite was kind of the tanky hero or a damage dealer. Now he'll be able to reduce incoming damage onto his team as well, and he'll be able to kind of AoE splash, and his Corrosive Breath is now lethal. Combined all those three together, he's got a more of a more to him in the late game as well. I think early game that damage reduction is going to be really good for ganks. If you're going to dive somebody and they're going to try and turn around under tower, or someone has a TP reaction to try and save that said gank, I think that's really, really good. You can breathe fire if they try to turn it. The damage won't be enough because you reduced it at an early level. That's a pretty good thing. At late game as well, that'd be really, really good. Mid game it might fall off a little bit, in my opinion. Right, so Earth Spirit. You know, I don't even want to talk about Earth Spirit, but I guess I have to. Damage increased from his Boulder Smash, which is his kick, to 200. Geomagnetic Grip, mana cost increase. Geomagnetic Grip, damage reduced. Magnetize can be dispelled, which is fucking beautiful, because last time you could just not get rid of it, ever. Fixed Hex, not interrupting Boulder. So the last one is just a bug, I believe. Boulder Smash damage up increased. I think that's really, really good. It's a very high skill. It's a very high skill shot. So if you actually land those Boulder Smashes, I think you deserve to deal a little bit more damage. They're quite hard to hit in general. It's good that it's buffed. The Geomantic Grip, the damage is reduced, but the mana cost is increased. I think. I don't play much Earth Spirit, but I know the build for playing him, and you tend to go why am I saying that? Geomagnetic Grip, you tend to go level 1 because of the silence and the damage. Now that the damage is reduced only at levels 2, 3, and 4, I think that's a decent-ish nerf. So his silence is less strong, but his stun is stronger. So overall, his combo has more damage, I believe. No, have they reworked it perfectly? No, they have. They reworked it perfectly so that the combo deals exactly the same damage from his Q and his grip and his smash. So instead of grip dealing a freaking ridiculous amount of damage, I think that's fair. I think that's a nice change. That's a good change. Magnetize being dispelled, I think that was really, really needed, because unless you had a BKB that could not, I think it goes to BKB but doesn't deal damage. Yeah, you could not get it. Get rid of it. That's good. Elder Titan, Echo Stomp, channel time reduced, and cooldown reduced at all levels. That's really good as well. Lethal means it kills you. Last time it used to be a non-lethal, so it would the poison would tick your damage down up until like 1 HP, but not kill you. Now it will actually kill you. If it lasts long enough to kill you, it will kill you. So Elder Titan gets a slight buff, not very impactful. We'll see how these go. I mean, most of these changes, like the big changes, of course, will have big impacts, but the small changes might have big impacts in the long run. In the competitive scene, especially, you'll probably be able to see a lot more of close pickoffs or close calls because of these changes. So Echo Stomp, that's a buff to his Spirit Stomp as well, so that's pretty good, and the cooldown as well. That's really good. Untouchable, Chandra's got a huge buff. She can now pierce spell immunity, so that's ridiculous. So she actually has a viable late game kind of use. Beforehand, like after jungling and getting that Ags, if you're not winning the game by 25 minutes, she starts to fall off. She gets very weak. She didn't bring much to BKB carriers. She didn't bring much to for creep control, because they keep dying and they only last for a certain amount of time. You can't really plan out pushes. You have to go to the jungle all the time. So now that she can refresh that enchant duration, that's really, really good. The Untouchable got a slight buff, so in early game she'll have an even stronger impact. Impetus now pierces spell immunity, so late game she'll be able to throw her ultimate a lot more often. That's really good. Enigma's Midnight Pulse. It is late, guys. I apologize. Midnight Pulse cast point improved from 0.3 to 0.2. So, slightly faster cast point. Wouldn't think much about that. Black Hole now does a constant damage regardless of proximity to center. That is huge. So you catch anyone on the edge of a black hole and they'll deal that amount of damage. With Aghanims, that would be beautiful. With a Refresher, that would be insane. You can already kill an entire team on your own with a black hole Aghanims Refresh. This makes it just that much easier to land the damage. Because last time you had to kind of guarantee all of them kind of being clumped together. Now catching them on the edges will still do that much damage to them. That's beautiful. Black hole mana cost also decreased at all levels. So Enigma got basically a huge buff. We're probably going to see a lot more Enigmas in pubs. Enigma probably going to see some show in competitive scene. Gyrocopter got a beautiful buff. Rocket Barrage no longer has a cast point. Last time you got to press Q, wait 0.3 seconds, and then the Rocket Barrage comes out. Now it doesn't. You don't have to wait at all. It just comes out, shits on everybody. It's beautiful. You don't even have to stop moving. You just have to run forward and press Q, and it'll burst. I think that is a good change. I like that a lot. Call down Missile 2, slow duration increase, no one cares. Huskar got his heal cast range and cooldown slightly buffed. Not a hugely impactful skill, but might be able to see him in supports. Probably doubt it. It's probably useful for pushing, probably useful for pub games, so when Huskar goes mid, when you get a couple kills, you want to get a tower, you could use this more often now to heal your teammates. That's pretty good. Invoker, one of my favorite heroes, got a beautiful buff. His intel gain has increased by 0.7 intelligence. That's fucking incredible. His right click will be immense because all his in-gain comes from his exort. That's beautiful. Invoke no longer triggers cooldown if it only swaps the ability slots. The utility of this is so unreal. A lot of people I know, especially I'm one of them, 300 games of Invoker, I have this difficulty of landing my combinations because I prefer to do them in a specific order. Swapping these, and I prefer to do the swapping of skill slots just to make sure that combo lands in the right order. So this now makes it just that much easier to land these combinations because it doesn't trigger cooldown. Usually you'd use that. If it Invoker's at level 1, you gotta wait a fucking age before you can land that combination. That is beautiful. Sunstrike cooldown also reduced. This is gonna be a beautiful day for all those Sunstrike invokers out there. We can do that. We can do their Fountain Fests. So we can do the Fountain Prediction Sunstrike so much more quickly. Expect a lot of Benny Hill theme songs running around when people are trying to dodge Sunstrikes because the cooldown is reduced. And the most beautiful thing in the fucking history of Dota 2, max level Deafening Blast, basically Invoker at level 25, is now a non-targetable circular wave released in every direction. How could you not love that? Invoker is basically an initiate hero now. Blink in, Deafening Blast, wreck everyone. Alright, see you, dude. Take care, man. Thanks for coming. Hopefully I'll see you soon. See you, boys. Alright. So Invoker got a huge buff. I think Deafening Blast will help his Sunstrike combination, like the Yules to Sunstrike to Meteor to Deafening Blast. This will make it worth landing in a team fight because you will still land Deafening Blast on everyone around you. It is also good basically as a cast point for an Invoker to initiate in the fight. That would be beautiful for him to blink in and get that disable on everyone. I think that's really good. We're almost done, about halfway through. IO Relocate, Double Click, now teleports the Fountain. Another utility buff, very, very good. Jakiro's Macropire buffed again to last 3 seconds longer, and the area effect is increased, so that's really good. Jakiro's base strength increased as well slightly. I think that's really good for the support. Jakiro is a fairly squishy support. Macropire does a lot when you get to land stuns on top of it as well. Yules on Jakiro is going to be really, really, really strong because the Macropire is very, very painful now. Lasts a ridiculously long time. It's got a nice chunky area of effect. It's like, so generally speaking, fairly nice buff to Jakiro. Juggernaut Blade Fury cooldown is increased at all early levels except for level 4. That's to basically deter people from the Mask of Madness max crit build. Because once you spin, you want to have that spin for 42 seconds, which is a full 12 seconds longer than normal. That is quite painful. That's quite painful. If you gank Juggernaut and he spins, just wait like until the cooldown comes off, and you can gank him very quickly again because he won't have Blade Fury up so fast. So this is kind of to deter that kind of build. I like it a lot.